Yeah.
So now we're gonna go to the URs. This is gonna be just like more of a snap judgment based on.
Yeah, we'll try and maybe power through these a little quickly. We don't need to go crazy.
But there's a lot more. We don't, and there's not as much to talk about with characters. We have to take into account like all the cards that can possibly play to them. Here we just have to talk about the card.
Yeah, and a lot of these are obviously quite situational, right? So,
Yeah.
um, so like like S is going to be like best cards in the set, right? A's are playable outside their character. B's are just played in their character. You wash your whore mouth out, Adam. C is like fun, and D is just basically unplayable. Um, like, yeah, I think that's sort of where I end up on it. And the game UI is really, really cool with Stormer Blades. That's why I like it.
So yeah, let's crack on because I think this is over 20 these ones.
Yeah.
So we've got the first one, which is Needle Barrage. It's an Echo. Mill free. This attack gets +1 damage for each character mill this way. And if this attack deals damage, unflip 1 momentum. For a 5 cost, 5 mid for 4 damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's basically Toga only, right? You know what? You're not really playing anything else other than Toga. And you probably
Toga
are wanting to play it in Toga.
Yeah, it's Toga 4 with the top enhance, it's Toga 3 with the bottom enhance, but it only shares life with Toga 3.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I don't even want to play it in Toga 3. You just want to play it in Toga 4.
Yeah, this is the detail. It's completely locked in with its character.
No, it's just C. Like, if it's like part of that kit, and if you want to play that character, you play that kit, it at least goes into C. So I think this goes into C. Like, if you're playing Toga 4, I think you're playing this card. Right?
Double Jumbo Fist. While this card is in your card pool, your other mid attacks get +1 speed, +1 damage. Enhance. Add 1 copy of Double Jumbo Fist from your discard pile to your hand. This attack gets +2 speed, +2 damage. It's a 4 cost, 4 mid for 4. That's pretty decent, actually.
It's fine. Again, it's mids only. It's boring as fucking hell. I think I just want to put it in the C. I don't want to play this card.
I mean, it is, but if you drop this as your
doing
first...
the focused attack thing, right? It's like you play this, you add a copy from your discard pile to your card pool, and then you play the focus attack with an extra +2/+2. What you fucking do? Like, is there better things you can be doing? Maybe. Like it might be a B, just because, but it's like you're just playing mids only, and that's just so dull.
I mean, single zones is always, I think, it's just mids are always a lot more blockable. But essentially, this is a 4/4.
I could buy a B for this, in that it's a little bit more powerful, like a little bit more. Like
this is a lot more versatile than Needle Barrage.
Yeah, Needle Barrage is like one character only. I could see if you want to play like a focus attack or mids only thing, you could play this another character. So maybe a B, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all. This could be slapped into a younger to go at all to get some work. This could definitely see some order play for sure. Heartbeat Surround, charge Deadlock Stun 2 with a static. While this card is in your card pool, your rival commits 1 foundation after your charge attack deals damage.
I don't know why that isn't a response, but anyway.
Definitely should be static, so it doesn't matter. You can't really commit in the card pool, but sure. Enhance. Your next attack gets +1 damage for each of its keywords. That's pretty decent with how Jiro is set up. It's a 5 mid for 6, which is very cool.
Mid. Deadlock Stun 2. Like, this is just feels very C. I don't think this is going to see a lot of play.
If it had Void or Chaos, which have a lot of charges, this would be a lot higher. But I think this is high C, low B. I think this will see a lot more play than you give it credit for with the kits. But
yeah, I mean, it's probably a bit better than the Toga one, but like, yeah, it's just a C.
Sniping Spy. Clear 1 card from your card pool. This attack gets +X damage. X equals 5 minus the printed check of the cleared card. So you could technically end up with -1 damage to an attack. If you check a 6.
Uh, yes, you could, or you can clear a storm of blades and get 4 damage on it. It's not an F. It's nowhere near an F.
It is 100% enough.
No.
This should have been the character art as well, which is what annoys me.
Yeah, but like you can actually do things with this card, right? Clearing a card from your card pool, even just for like +2 damage, is still a powerful effect, right? Even if you're just clearing it for +2 damage and making this a 5 mid 5 for 4 that clears a card from your card pool, sure, it's a 2 check, but you're saying that's like no. Like, and if you're playing other 2 checks or 1 checks even, then this gets even more damage. And it's 5 speed base on a 4 check. Like, you imagine just playing anything into this as a 3 diff, right? As a 3 check into this. I'll clear it. It's a 5 mid 5 on a 4 that has now cleared one of my card pool. Like, yeah, this is definitely not an F. Like, this is infinitely better. Well, maybe not infinitely, is like
it
wrong.
goes to
It's
be
definitely better than those 2 in C for starters.
It goes
like,
to
I
be
think it's
for one reason and one reason alone. Stun grenade is still legal.
Yeah, again, you can do stun grenade things, right? I mean, this isn't a Fury, so maybe you're not doing stun grenade things, but like, it's ranged weapon. Like, yeah, you can do stuff with this. Yeah, sure, it's a 2 check, but like, yeah, I think this has definitely got moves.
This would have been so much cooler if she had a sniper alt wink on like headshots for the game. Yeah, no, we were all waiting for the. We were literally all waiting for the alt wink on, and just we were blindsided with, yeah, it doesn't exist. Acid splash, deflect 2.
Easy A. Easy A.
Yeah, flip 1 card in your card pool. This attack gets plus X speed. X equals the flip card's difficulty. Spend more momentum. Destroy 1 rival foundation. Yeah.
Simply because it's really, really good in Mina, and Mina 2 is one of the ones I forgot we were talking about earlier. It's one of the best decks in the game right now. Probably like S tier. This goes in Mina 2. Like, it doesn't have a huge wider range of application where you want to be flipping your attacks to get plus X speed. Like deflect 2 on it is nice, right? Like, even if you're flipping like a 4 diff, right, that got blocked, it's like a 4 low for 5 on a 4.
Yeah.
That you can selectively destroy a foundation if you've got a momentum.
This is great.
Yeah,
and
the
Death and Void symbol. Death and Void symbol got great ways of getting momentum out. But yeah, this is.
Yeah.
After speaking with Pippa, apparently Deflect has come up a lot in Sealed and has been sneakily good.
Like I said, I got my Mirko opponent. I think they were on 13, and I sent a 15 damage big old powerful attack with Mina, and then they deflected 3 and survived on 1 kill me on a crackback.
I mean, I personally still don't see it being great, but yeah, when it's keeping you alive, it's amazing.
Exactly.
Lunar Arc, Deluxe Stun 2. If your rival has not taken damage this turn, this attack is +2 speed. Spend momentum, your rival must reveal a low block in their hand as an addition to blocking this attack. This is easy A.
What's that?
Lunar Arc. If it's your first attack, essentially you get +2 speed, or if your opponent's blocking everything, it gets +2 speed. And spend momentum, your rival must reveal 1 lower block from their hand in addition to blocking this attack. Essentially, it's a 3/5 that has to have a low, or it's a 5/5 as your first attack for 4.
Yeah, it's solid. It's probably like a B. Like, it's not blowing my mind, but it's not terrible. Like,
I'd say low A, just because it's a 5/5 for 4.
Yeah, I think there are things that do better than this, but like, yeah, I mean, like, it's a Fury on fire and death and air.
We can always move it around afterwards.
Yeah.
Cast the Creation Strike, lose 2 health, remove 1 foundation, build 1 foundation with printed difficulty of X from your discard. X equals the removed difficulties printed difficulty +1. You're always building a 1 cost foundation. Spend momentum. This attack is +1 damage for each face up card with exactly 1 copy in your stage.
I mean, it's Birthing Pod. It's super, super sweet. Like, I think this goes into A. Just like, I don't know how many decks actually end up wanting to play this card. But what this card does is super fun.
So
Like, I
this
think
if
it's really, really
this
cool.
is essentially a 4 low for what? If you build 3 unique foundations turn 1 on your second turn, this is a 4 low for 9.
You could easily get this up to like a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
Right. And if you can just put some sort of speed in it, like I think it's an A. Like I don't think it's S tier, but I think I think certain you're gonna probably at least in Momo you're gonna be wanting playing at least like 2 to 4 copies of this and stuff.
Oh yeah, in Momo this is going to be absolutely nuts. The fact it counts your character is insane. So it's always getting +1 no matter what.
Yeah. Misa Mallet is another one of those character lock cards that's fine. And
if
just
you
goes
reveal
into
the
speed.
card due to cost at the top card momentum, after you spend 1 or more momentum, you're looking at a foundation stage. Yeah,
it's just a C. It's fine. Like it's got reasonable stats.
If it had powerful as well, it might jump up to a B.
Well,
Because
it's 7 damage, right? So as long as you've got a single momentum, like if you ignore the enhance in most characters, like you EX to it to make it a 6 high for 7, and then gives it stun 1. It's got breaker 1. It's not terrible, but it's just a C. I don't think many people are going to want to play this card realistically.
That's fair. I mean, it's kind of like plus ultra prominence burn, but that's limited to 3.
Yeah.
But then again, that's a lot harder to pull off than the one for them. I think that's easy to see. 0 satellites enhanced. If this attack deals damage, add 1 card for your discard power to your momentum face up. Solid. This attack gets +2 damage for each 0 gravity card in its name in your card pool.
This is just a D. I don't see it ever seeing any sort of play like and snagging the face at momentum for hits is like whatever, and like the cards that have 0 gravity, like literally none of them are playable.
My question is, why doesn't this have the weapon tag?
I don't know.
You're literally slinging shells at someone. Those are weapons.
Yeah, it's tech, I guess. That's why. It's just a D. I don't think this card's any good.
I don't think this is D.
Any play.
If it does damage, you get to add 1 to momentum. Ochako doesn't really care that much about momentum.
No, I mean, what face up? Like maybe this is like a spotlight plant, right? For like 0 grav lift.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's great for spotlight. But I think that bomb enhance
is the only other one that I really want to play. Like 0 gravity, like the ultra rare from the starter deck is alright. 0 gravity rush, I suppose, is playable if you can give speed and stuff. But like that was only really good in like.
So there's 0 gravity shock, 0 gravity tag.
Yeah, I've got this barrier. Like, they're basically the only ones that are playable. Like barrier isn't really playable. No. Capture isn't playable.
Yeah, capture's legal.
Cracked. Yeah, like they're just not enough. Yeah, it's just a D. It's not good.
I'd say C. I don't know why. I just got this feeling that it.
No, it's not good.
Okay.
It's not good.
Don't know why, but I think there's some. I feel my brain is going to be working on this in the background for a while. There's just. If
you can crack this card, then go ahead.
There is just something in my head that says this card is more cracked than what it says on the front. It's not big. It's not big for Spotlight because 0 gravity lift takes the 5 slot. That's fair. The unstoppable attack that replaced our win condition is next. The split gill lung strike. Stun 2.
Yeah, I could imagine he was Adam because Ochako just is not good. I'm afraid. Yeah, split gill lung strike.
So add 1 mushroom counter to a card in either play stage. If there are 10 or more mushroom counters in all combined stages, this attack becomes unblockable.
It's a C because you play this in Mushroom Girl and never anywhere else.
I think this is a D because you never get to pop off that unblockable because Mushroom Girl.
But like it's I mean, just you can add a mushroom counter to your character or something, right? It's one of the ways of actually getting to do that. Like it's stun 2. You get to add a counter to their character, so it's like there are things like I think it's a C because you probably play this in Mushroom Girl if you want to play Mushroom Girl, and that's sort of it. Right?
But Mushroom Girl just lets your rival blow up their foundations, which means that 10 mushroom counters is never going to pop off unless you
Yeah,
put in
I
all your
mean, you
stuff.
sort of you almost ignore the unblockable thing. It's like it's whatever, but like it's a way of
So
adding them to your stage, right? So you could
if
get up
we
a
if
load.
we ignore the unblockable, this is a
I'm not saying it's good.
no
I'm
no.
saying
But
you
I'm just
just
saying
play a mushroom roll.
if we going in early, if this is our second attack, this is a free mid for 6 with stun 2.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's great. I'm
No,
just saying you probably almost need to play it as part of the mushroom girl package just 'cause it does the mushroom counters thing, and you haven't got any other ways of doing it. So that's the thing. It's just like the bottom of C and that sort of where it
yeah,
lies.
it's not great.
No.
And also I'd probably want to play the Toga one more.
Hmm.
Mainly because I get to unflip momentum with that, which is good in all characters.
Yeah.
Patrick Babies, EX3, Powerful 3, Stun 2. This attack is plus X speed, X equals the highest key rated played this turn. And this attack is plus 1 damage for each different keyword in your card pool.
So without any extra work, right? This is a 5 mid
For
for 5.
3 mid for 5.
For a 5 mid for 5, because
Alright.
they're with stun 2, right? If you don't
Um,
play the EX or powerful.
6 with in May because you can put that stuff up to 3.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying without any other work, just on its
Okay.
face. This is
Yeah.
a 5 mid for 5 with stun 2, with a 1 mid block.
Yeah.
That's okay, but
I think that's
it's got
B tier.
EX3, powerful 3, and all of a sudden you can, if you've got ways of pumping that up, I think it's very good. Like I think it's an A. I don't think it's necessarily an S. I think there's 2 cards that go in S, and I think that's probably about it. But I think it's definitely an A. I think there's definitely things to do with this. Like it's an excellent out for your momentum in a deck that wants that on these symbols. Like it's got stun 2, so it's effectively a 7 mid 5, right? Obviously, things like Runaway laugh at it quite hard. But I think this is a really solid, like just a lot of stats, a lot of moving pieces.
I mean,
and things
it
to do,
has
so.
all 3 showdown symbols, so you just laugh at Runaway right back.
Yeah, sure, but like I think it's I think it's an A. I think it's like
Uh,
probably top of A, even.
Somnambulism Subdual. Stun 2. If this attack is not, if your opponent does not try to block this attack, freeze 2 rival foundations. It's a free high for 2.
D. No one's playing this card ever.
Oh, well, no, this goes in C because it's part of the Midnight package, and this would be played at midnight.
Would you? I don't think even you would play at midnight. It's like it's a 3 high for 2. No one gives a shit. Okay, you freeze 2 by foundations. What do you do?
Like, well, in midnight you freeze 3.
This card is so low impact. I do not think it's remotely worth playing.
Well, that's literally the point of the attack. It is an attack like Chronostasis Trigger of 9 times out of 10 you're not going to block it, and then you're going to have to suffer the consequence of it. But it's a hand tax. Right. It's a stun 2 that gets to freeze those 2.
Or you could play an attack that actually does something.
But this does something for midnight. That's the point.
I still don't think it's good in her. I think there's probably about a 17 bajillion other attacks I'd rather play in midnight. I think there's so many other best things you can do. It's a 2 damage attack. Like it's just, like if midnight was putting damage on stuff, then I could buy it, but she just isn't.
Midnight is not midnight.
It's the lock thing, right? You just need to accept that lock is bad, was never ever good, and
what I do,
and doesn't work.
I have beat Endeavor 2. I've beat Endeavor 3 as Lock. How dare you?
You need to accept that lock is bad. Stop trying to make midnight into lock. This card is bad and goes into D.
No, because you said even if they're bad, like the Toga one, if it's part of their kit and designed for them.
I don't think you play like in the Toga one. You play it in Toga because you sort of need to. I don't think midnight. You should be playing this card. I think it's just bad.
This literally follows what Midnight 2 is trying to do in terms of control. It is either a hand tax on
it has her face on and is part of her kit. I think if you're putting this in a deck,
the effect is part of what she's trying to do. She's trying to hand tax you. She wants you to get a card out of your hand to block this attack, which is low impact, or suffer the consequences of it. This is exactly what Midnight 2 is designed to do. She's not an aggro deck. She's not a mid-range deck. She's a control deck that very slowly whittles you down. And
yeah, so it just says, okay, I'll free. You know, you get to freeze 2 of my things.
Free.
I'll just defend things, right? It's just again, lock doesn't work. This card is bad. It goes into D.
But this isn't lock. This is literally get that card out your hand that you're trying to save.
We are at an impasse. Chat, is this a C or a D? Is this a C or a D? That's our.
Well, look, it's a rich version of Roy. Yeah, this is literally a hand tax of get that card out your hand that you are saving for something else. Or if I would happily play this and go lose 3 foundations and then put it into a battle or release. Going, you have to get a high block out your hand to stop this very low impact attack, and now my battle or release gets to go through. Or I get to commit 3 of your things down. You have to play down foundations in your next turn, and then my battle or release is better on the turn after that.
Right. I've never. Oh, I've looked at mod view. Oh, I've never done this before. I was just seeing if there was a way of me doing a poll in chat because I know other people do.
Yeah. Poll is really easy. Create new poll. Question. Some. How the hell do you spell it? I'm going to pull that one up right now. Okay,
well, just is this a C or a D? We don't need to call.
Well, no, we'll move on while the poll's going on. I hate you. I hate when I click on something. I just want to copy it. I don't want to. Put it on for 2 minutes when we go through ones. Boom, poll done.
Okay, I won't vote. Just I don't want to colour the voting here. Right, we'll let chat vote on this one for a bit, and then we'll move on to the next one for now.
Legendary Flood. Gain 2 health. If you're at maximum health, gain 3 damage. Your rival commits 1 foundation for each ranged attack in your card pool. So this is just Spiral Blast and the charge one.
I like it. I don't know how good this card actually is as a 2 check, right? It's again only 3 damage. Like gains you some health. If you're at max, you go up to +3. It's like I think it's just a C, and that you're probably playing a Nedra, and I'm not sure anyone else wants to.
No, that makes sense. My computer is
again. I think it's in that mushroom and toga sort of area of you're probably playing this in the character and probably not anywhere else. And I think similarly with camouflage counter, like I think you probably play an Asui and don't anyone else.
I mean, yeah, if you can give it damage, you can run this in Ballmite. Because you take it on top of your deck, draw it again.
I'm not sold. I think it's just a C. I don't think it's a great one.
I guess. I mean, yeah, it has the Asui only. But
I'm not sold on it. I think, both those, the Legendary Flood and Camouflage, are just C's. As in, like, you can conceivably play them in the character they're built for, but you're probably not playing them outside of that kit.
Rupture Driver, remove 1 card from your hand. This attack gets +2 speed, +2 damage. Mill 3, your rival spends 1 momentum. And if your character has a normal trait, draw a card. So great in Hood and Kuragiri for that.
Yeah, I think this is probably in the B tier, and I think probably top of B. Like, it's just a bunch of stats and momentum hate, which you generally need. And, you might not necessarily play it too much outside of the Nomus, but, Hood would almost certainly want this.
Hood can definitely use this.
Woman definitely wants this. And sometimes, you play it in a 7-hander where they're removing a card to get +2/+2 isn't that much of a problem. So I think, I think this is a B. I think it.
And again, with things
I think it does flap.
With things like polite and well spoken, you're removing something that you just get to play later on.
Yeah, I think it's good enough. I think there's going to be
Decay Awakened. First form, remove, destroy all foundations and assets in all stages. Build top card of your deck, face down. Your combat phase ends.
This feels like a sideboard card that certain decks are going to want a sideboard card in certain matchups, but yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. This is an A S tier card.
Is it? It's a 7 though. Like I
It's
think it's.
it
Like
doesn't
I
matter.
think it's a
The
sideboard,
cost
so that's to
doesn't
me it goes
matter.
in is a B as a sideboard card.
The cost of this card literally doesn't matter because you're blowing up all your foundations.
Sure, I get that, but again, it's an action. You can't necessarily afford to run too many of these. Like
It's not meant to be a 4. This is meant to be like a 1 of, 2 of, push the button sort of thing. It
yeah, so
is.
that's why I think it's more a sideboard. So I mean, I could buy it at bottom of A, but this feels like a B to me. Like sometimes this card is going to be very blank and not really do enough.
Forcing your opponent to restart is very, very powerful because you, especially if you're looking at you're being up against 5-handers or you're up against an opponent who's sculpting and then
Yeah.
just going.
Yeah, I mean, nice. I could buy an A on this. Like, it might be really good. I'm not sure. I don't know how much.
The amount of times I've faced against like Mike's Kurabara or a Coda and they've been sat down on 15 foundations and you can't go into deadlock and then just literally blowing up their entire board going we're both restarting. It's a card you play around yourself and hope your opponent hasn't. You don't check one so your opponent doesn't see it coming.
Yeah, like it's a thing. Like yeah, I can see an A, but I'm not sure how much play
It makes me very sad. It doesn't share 2 symbols with Dabby 2, so you can just blow things up at will. Black Abyss is S. We all know this.
Yeah, easy S. Black Abyss is like one of the best 2 ultra rares in the set. There's an argument for it being the best one, and then the other one that goes in there is the other one that's like.
If this tech deals damage, your next check gets +1, easy, and
Abyss is cracked. Like it goes in Toga 3, it goes in Amajiki. Like there's plenty of like those top meta decks that really want to use this card. It has a really powerful effect. And like it's just reasonably well statted, right? It's a 5 low 6 for a 5 diff, like that's decent. And then there's plenty of ways in these symbols for snapping it into momentum. So whether that's like Force Clerk activation, whether that's Friend of Animals, Amajiki himself, Thorn
yeah,
Lances,
this sees play in Coda, this sees play in Amajiki, this sees play in Toga easily. This sees play in pretty much anything that has momentum out.
Yeah, you could play it in like Life Overhaul, or Earth Overhaul, even like if you're doing like a Lowe's type thing. Like there's plenty of moves with this card. Like it's just very very good.
Yeah, exactly. Blue Flame Surge, Breaker 1. After you block an attack with a keyword ability, with this card it deals no damage, and enhance. Add 1 momentum to your hand. It is a 4 mid for 2
on a 3 diff.
On a 3 diff. That is essentially an omni block for any keyword ability with Breaker 1. This is easy A.
I don't think it's A. I think it's in the B. I think it's, again, a little low impact for my liking.
So on these symbols, being able to pick up picking up any momentum is already very powerful.
But it's a 2 damage attack, and which you're playing at the end of your string. So like the benefit of being the 3 diff is you want to play at the end of your string, but it's only 2 damage, and picking up your momentum at that point is like can you pass that attack? Like you're being the omni block sort of thing, but like again, I just like. Are you genuinely going to play this card in any decks? I'm like,
in Fire, yeah,
kind of useful, but I'm just not convinced on this one.
Fire and Chaos with the damage pumps. Void, you've got things like Tornado Fist, which gives +3 to your next attack anyway, so it's then immediately a 4/5.
Well,
adding momentum to your hand, giving you essentially 1 extra hand size for the attack that's on there. Especially in, say, Void weapons, where you can pick up a rapid speed slash, which lets you draw another card after that. Be able to pick up a wall.
I'm not saying this card is terrible, but I'm just thinking it feels a little too low impact.
But that's the point around like the defensive side of it. It isn't a card that you just immediately slam down.
It's just like,
are
you actually going to find space for this card in your deck? So I'm not 100% convinced you will. I think it's not a terrible option, but I'm like, Yeah, my gut says B on this, around that sort of similar, around those ones. I don't think this gets into A for me.
For me, this is an easy A because given the way you can string out now with this and ambush thrust is very very powerful. What the dog
Yeah,
is
but it's
absolutely
just too
great.
damage.
It shares symbols with Black Abyss, which means you can pick up black. You can pick up a Black Abyss, and it's a sculpting card. You can hold it in your hand, going, "Yeah, I need to wait for the right turn to drop this." Uh, Slam it down. The biggest issue with ambush thrust was it was kind of like one that your opponent wanted to block. This is one that you can sort of chain out, and I would probably still play this in Dabby one because it's a free diff that essentially just keeps stacking up damage.
Yeah, like there's probably some decks that might want to play this card, but I'm not convinced that that is many, and so that's why I'd say maybe it's a B. But
Uh,
um,
it, so cluster bomb, destroy one rival foundation. You either may lose 3 health to cancel this ability. Deadlock, destroy 2 rival foundations.
I mean, it just goes into the deck that wants to do the foundation destruction thing, right? Because like it's a selective discard, right? I'd sorry, selective destroy, and for the most of the time they're just going to lose the 3 health, which is fine. But on a 5 diff, it's just a 3 mid for 5, and that's it. It's a nice deadlock. Don't get me wrong, but I just again I don't. It's probably that niche. I'm going to destroy your foundation sort of deck that wants to play
So
this.
Karasu 80% power eats this up.
Yeah, Karasu almost certainly loves it. But like I think it's a bit too niche that this goes
Any
into B
deck.
for me.
So if you play 80% power, force them into deadlock, you then essentially between these 2 attacks have blown up 3 face up foundations and replaced it with 2 face down committed.
Yeah. But like outside of Magical Christmas Land,
However,
it's
if
been
you're running 4 of each, that's not Magical Christmas Land. That is literally a consistency of deck.
I know, but it's still just a 3 mid for 5. Like I think I uh I think there is limited market for this card. So like again, I think it goes into sort of low B, top like high C. Like there are some decks that are going to want this, but I think
Oh yeah,
they
Adam, the
are
Deadlock
few and
Destroy
far
4 one is
between.
absolutely insane.
What's that?
Adam's talking about the Deadlock Destroy 4. Yeah, 80% power with Deadlock Destroy 4, double the damage. With Karasu, he's going to be laughing. Flashfire Fist, Jet Kindling. Ranged, it's a free high for 5 with mill 3. If you milled an attack this way, draw a card. Enhance, if you have 10 or less health, this attack gains echo.
This card's really good.
Yeah, no, this is a high A, maybe even low S.
Yeah, I think it just goes into A. There's not. Again, I think there's only certain decks that want this. Maybe. Again, it's arranged, like not necessarily all there's work on that. But like it's very well statted for a 4, right? In theory, it's a 3. And like it almost like Endeavor wants this, right? On
Endeavor
2
absolutely,
of their
Endeavor
seals.
Order and Fire absolutely eats this up.
And just have that like 10 less health against Echo is really nice. Like it's got a nice high block, it's off zone. Like it's maybe a little slow, but it is only a 4 diff. Like it hits reasonably hard. Yeah, I mean, this isn't an S, but it goes into A, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely an A no matter what. But this could
Yeah.
definitely get into the low sort of S sort of range because of its symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, woman likes this card a lot. I'm trying to think. There's a few. There was someone actually talking about this, and like one of my friends asked why this is 20 quid a piece, and I literally just answered Endeavor free. But there's a lot of other reasons. This is a very very powerful card. I mean, not that anyone plays it, but Dabby 1 Fire absolutely loves this card. Dabby 2 Fire loves it. It does a lot
There's
of
plenty
stuff.
going on with this card, right? So
Lightning Rod, deflect 4, stun 1. After you play this card's deflect ability, add the top card of your deck to momentum. Enhance, build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. At the start of your end phase, remove them.
yeah, I mean this card's terrible. You should just send your copies to me.
The
So
alt art is gorgeous.
So I can just play them on my meme Gran Torino deck. I mean that's what it's really good for.
I mean,
But
again,
no,
it goes
obviously,
in order Endeavor because
it's like one of the best two secret ultra rares in the set.
yeah,
It's not so. Um, I mean, it is a 2, but it's just very, very good. Um, like, just deflect 4 is a lot, and being able to just then snag a momentum. I think there's plenty of decks that want this sort of effect. Like, it's a high, it's a charge. A Chaco 4 likes this card, right? It's got the stun, and just those two foundations just to help you continue to string out,
yeah,
right?
and if you can
And you
destroy
can then
them
use
to other effects, then
yeah, like quick response, right?
yeah,
Quick response is one of these cards like best buddies. It's like, okay, I'll commit them to pass my checks, blow them up to quick response for 2. Like that was just a lot of free real estate from this card. As long as you've got ways of killing people, which frankly Gran Torino struggled a little with. But yeah, just playing this in actual decks, I think there's going to be plenty that want it. This was, as of this recording, I believe, the most expensive ultra rare in the set. It might be the Black Abyss ends up overtaking it because it's 2 checks. Maybe it doesn't see as quite as much play as it should. But yeah, Lightning Rod's very, very good.
yeah, that was insane. Let's have a look. Let's go check out the good old Goblin.
Last time on Goblin, it was this was 34 and Abyss was 28.
Yeah, this is 34. And Abyss is still 28, yeah. I wonder what the alt art is then if this is 34.
Yeah, it'd be expensive.
Should probably get rid of that then before. Or if I don't, then the price goes even higher. That would be silly.
Well, I think everything's at release prices now, right? But anyway,
yeah.
One for all, full Howling. It's cool.
It is, but it isn't. I mean, the attack is +1 damage, +1 speed for
Very
each attack
situational.
cleared from your card pool.
There's a lot of things that you really want to be working with this card that really don't work with this card, right?
You need St. Louis. St. Louis is the biggest thing.
No, I don't think St. Louis works with it, actually, if I remember rightly.
St. Louis clears cards from your card pool to pay for its powerful abilities.
No, because you're removing them. You're not clearing.
Oh
them.
no. Then this basically
it does not work.
Yeah, this is essentially it doesn't really work. Then
it goes in Mirko, right? Does it share symbols of Mirko?
No. Good life, possibly life.
Possibly, yeah.
I think this was done intending to work with St. Louis, and then it kind of
Mirko 2's got air, so it works in Mirko 2, right?
Mirko. But even then, as a 3/4, how many things is Mirko actually going to be able to get rid of?
Well, if Mirko gets rid of 2 or 3 cards, right, this then becomes in as like a 6/7. Like, if you can clear 3 cards, which not crazy for Mirko, it comes in as a 6/7 on a 4 diff.
I mean,
but
losing 3 foundations for 3 damage and 3 speed is not great.
But again, you're clearing your progressive, right? And that's part of the thing. And like ready when a foundation's committed that's not ready is like fine. I mean,
I think it goes in. I think it's far too specific.
It goes into C. I think like there's some things you can do with this, but I think it's a bit situational to actually be great.
Readying 1 foundation that has not been ready this combat phase is just worse repeated smash.
Fine. Hi Dash, welcome to the chat. Recipro Turbo. Man, this card's so good, and man, kicks are in a.
Your other kick attacks get +2 speed this turn. Your non-attacks get +1 difficulty this turn, which means you're not going on a build on this turn. Or an action.
Yeah, it's a kill card, right? It's like I'm going to try and kill you this turn.
If this is the only card in your card pool, draw 1 card or add 1 card from your hand to momentum. Again, this could be a Mirko card.
Yeah. Like if you're just doing a kicks package on Mirko, like Lunar Arc, Lunar Ring, Rabbit Cross, like they're all kicks. Like you've got the other one, like the uncommon from this set. There's also a kick on symbols. 60% power, strangely, as a kick.
Yeah,
But actually, on the sim like knee smash, giving that 2 speed. I love a knee smash. Um,
I think Endeavor's got a couple of kicks as well on order.
yeah, honestly, I mean, dropkick slicer she has a symbol. Give that 2 speed. Love a little kick slicer. But actually, kicks are just not amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
like
I
again,
think this goes into C. It's kicks are
I
not in the
think this is
place.
one of those ones that has a lot of potential, right? This is a C currently, but could easily be an A or an S, right? If the kick package gets a lot better. But I think currently, I don't think this has a home. But once it has a home, it's very powerful.
Yeah, that it's a lot. It's like the set one kick stuff. When they can be played, they're very powerful. But at the minute,
Mm-hmm.
it's just waiting for the rest. Which again, we might see coming Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Super Great Brush, 4 mid for 7. That gets -1 difficulty, -1 to its bottom mod for each card in your rival's card pool.
Man, no, this is card good.
If your rival has 3 more cards in the card pool, seal 2 foundations. It's ranged. Mina 2 loves it. Minata 2 loves it. Kurama loves it.
I don't think anyone's ever playing this card. Like,
100% people are go. Mina 2 just plays the hell out of this card.
does she? What symbol? On water, I
On
guess.
water, yeah. You stuff the card pool. You have no progressive. Your opponent is blocking your stuff because they don't want to take extra damage, and you get to play this on a 4 or a 3. In a late string defense, this has negative block mod.
Yeah, it's very mid though.
This is a very powerful
I feel
card.
like it's not better necessarily than other options. And like,
what other options have you like got cheaper for every time your opponent blocks?
yeah, again, but like they have to actually block, right? Sometimes they just don't. But
so if they're not blocking, you hold it for defense, which is gonna get cheaper with every attack they go down, and it's great for offense and defense. It's a hold card. It's a kill card. It's for if your opponent's not blocking, they're gonna get low enough that they have to block, and then you get to drop a super cheap 4 mid for 7 when they've got nothing left.
I mean, I could buy a low B, but I'm not convinced.
This is a dumb card that will do dumb things, and I guarantee you it will be at least sideboarded by a few competitive decks.
I think people just people need to prove that to me.
Mina 2, I'm pretty sure anyone playing Mina 2 will have this somewhere. Because you have how much stuffing you're doing, especially with the new stuff. It's going to be great. Resistance training is easy A.
Yeah, resistance training is like one of the cards you're probably just going to play 1 or 2 of 1 symbols, just very good. Like, it's not always great. Like, it's a very specific effect. When you get to do it, it's very powerful. But yeah,
Mothra resistance training is going to be great.
Yeah, but you need to actually have 0 cards in hand, right?
That's not that hard, though, is it? If you've got this down, if you've got a non-unique resistance trade down, which means you get to build more, I'd happily go to 11.
I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying it's not like the be all and end all and everything. Like, you need to have momentum. They need to play an attack, and you need to have 0 cards in hand, and it's a remove. Like, there's a lot of pieces to it, but it is good, right? So I think an A is totally fine.
Going on to the SRs now. Audio reverberation, card pull response. After your blocked attack resolves, your charge attacks get +1 damage this turn. Enhance, if this attack deals damage, your rival adds 1 committed foundation to the bottom of their deck. Enhance, if your rival has 8 or more foundations, they add 1 ready foundation to the bottom of their deck. So
I don't know how I feel about this one.
It's a debuild 1, pretty much always mid game.
Yeah.
If this is half blocked, being a 4 mid low, a 4 low for 7.
Well, they block it. It's basically charge attack tribal. Are they good enough for these symbols?
Yeah. Like, if this had double jab pummel symbols, I would be all over this.
Yeah, I know.
It makes me sad. But I think they really do. I think Order has a decent amount of charge. I think Good has a decent amount of charge, especially thanks to the Deku 2 kit, which has got some charges.
Yeah.
All
So
has always had good charges. Punishing your
so
opponent
what
to
we on?
block, just giving you +1 to your next check for charges.
Those are
Sorry,
all
+1 damage.
good.
So the more they block, the more damage you get on your charges.
I mean, there's obviously Giro 3's kit, none of which is really great.
No, I think this is waiting for the right character to come along, and I think if this shared symbols with Ochako 3,
I mean,
it'd be
Lightning Rod
okay.
is good order charge. Net Launcher, I guess, is on good as a charge. Dimensional Sphere, 45% power, 100% power. Spirit Gun Mega, Rando Spirit Gun, Gently Theft.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I'm a
good
Hero
attacks.
2.
It's the
Tasty
character.
Good as a charge. Like, yeah, there's probably stuff. I don't think it's cracked. Like, I think this is probably like a B. That's my feeling on this one.
I think we missed acid screen, but that's fine. Acid screen, deflect 4, face down cards do not count towards progressive to player's card. Kind of redundant with me in the two, but yeah. If there's a face down card in either player's card pool, draw a card. It is a 4 high for 7 on a 5.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good.
It's,
I mean, Deflect 4 is nice.
it's a B.
Like,
Easy B.
is it? Is it really though? I'm like, do I even want to play this in Meaneth 2? And I don't know if I do. Like, the static basically does nothing.
It replaces itself in Mia 2. In everybody else, it's if you're playing Echoes, because it does share symbols with things like Trace Eyes, you just get to draw a card.
Yeah, but again, very situational. I just don't. Again, I don't see it seeing a lot of play. But
anything in Death and Void that says draw a card, especially with face downs when there's a lot of
it's
characters.
just situational. Big Fist Bash. Yeah, I think it's a C. I just don't think people. And I think you need to be doing the.
It's
thing
very
and
Kendo specific with the abilities.
Yeah.
This is one I've not actually read yet. Gentrification Swing. Spend momentum. Your checks to play charge for slam attacks get +1 this turn. And response.
So it's a little crow and froggy, right? As long as you're playing those keywords.
And after you play this card, your rival's next check to play a card gets -2. So that can be absorbed by actions. But that's a very powerful ability to make
it's just like a 6 for 5. As long as you've got momentum, it's basically crow and frog. Like, it's probably a B. Like, again, I don't know who wants it, but there's it's got 4 symbols, 4 keywords, and as long as you're playing with those with the charge, fury, and slam, being able to spend momentum and make this effectively not count towards progressive.
I mean, you slam this down, you then get to play Azure on a 5 with +1 to your check. You then give all your other stuff +1, so that means you're getting +2. I mean, it's
But again, you need momentum for this to basically do anything, right?
Otherwise, on these symbols, momentum is not hard to come by.
Yeah, sure. Like, but like again, it's not hugely impactful, right? At best, this is like a 6 mid for 5 damage on a 5 diff that doesn't count towards progressive and cost you momentum, which is fine. I might be underestimated, but again, it feels like it just goes into that same B tier.
Last 3, we've got Luna Tijeras, I guess. Tijeras. Deadlock Powerful 4, throw. This tag gets -1 difficulty for each card that has left the card pool, so it can become a 0. Enhance. If this attack is blocked, your rival discards half for their momentum rounded up. So if they've got 1 momentum, it just discards everything.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think this is a C. Like, you have to be doing the thing. You have to be doing the carpool thing, because otherwise I don't want to play a 6 diff 3 mid 7 throw. I mean, it's got a nice deadlock, but yeah, like, it's a C. Like, you probably play it in Mirko and maybe in something else on those symbols that's doing
Bakugo 4?
clearing. Yeah, like maybe, but even then it's like because you sort of have to play an attack, play a second attack, clear that first attack, then play this, which is still then makes it just a 5 diff, so it's still on a 6. Like, I'm not. I think it's just a C. It's fine.
I mean, I'm a bit tired because it's like 11 now, but I'm sure there's a way to get it a lot cheaper, especially on these symbols. And the fact that it
Yeah, it's
says
Mirko, right?
cards
It's
that have
just
left the card pool not been cleared, which means
yeah, but it's like, is it worth trying to sort of finagle around it for this? And I don't think the payoff is worth it.
if you can pump its damage, definitely. Bakugo 3, yeah. Bakugo 3 absolutely would eat this up.
Net launch is an A. Net launch is really good.
Net launch.
I don't think it's quite an S, but it's definitely an A.
I would put Net Launcher in low S, specifically because you're not restricted by unique. You can make your opponent play a second unique foundation and blow up the other one.
Yeah, sure. I know, I get that, but obviously they have to fit those criteria, right? Of having one in play and having one in the discard pile.
Yeah.
Not everyone's playing unique foundations. I think it's solid. Like, it does, if you can afford to commit 3 face ups, then it gets a shit ton of stats. But resets happen, and committing 3 face ups is a very big cost. And you place your first attack, you check a 3 on it, you're just gonna hate the world. So that's why I think it's an A. I don't think it quite fits into S, but I think it is very good.
And then we've got Invincible Infiltration.
Invisible Infiltration is just a solid B. Some decks want it, some decks don't. Like, the reset of foundation thing is nice. Yeah, Invisible Infiltration is just like a B, I think.
Fair enough.
Like, I mean, I could buy Net Launcher being an S, but I'm not 100% convinced. Like, 3 foundations is a lot.
You commit the same amount of you commit less foundation. Yeah, you commit the same amount of foundations in Cannon Blast to get essentially the same damage, and then you also get stunned to.
You can also just not commit all 3, and also
you also have got the new foundation that readies when you commit as part of cost.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it's terrible, but I'm like, I'm not 100% sold on it. But I think it is still the best secret, and I could buy it being in low S.
Can you commit 3 face downs for this? Because face downs don't have a name.
No, that's a question for a judge.
Yeah, because commit 3 foundations that do not share a name. Face down foundations have no name, therefore they have nothing to share.
I mean, I think so. I don't know. I mean, that would be my assumption, but I don't know for certain.
Because that would be, I guess that it goes against the spirit of the card, but it kind of goes in with rules as written as do as much as you can.
Yeah. I genuinely don't know.
I mean, the spend 1 momentum to build a foundation for your discard pile. It sets up the first ability beautifully. And then choose 1 foundation in your rival's discard pile if they've got a unique one or if they've got something that actively hurts them. That's absolutely great. But yeah, ideally you'd want a unique one, and with how there's been a rise of unique foundations, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, face up. Commit 3 face up foundations. There you go. That's how tired I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, commit 3 face up foundations that don't share. I missed the face up.
Okay, that answers that question. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very real cost, but this thing can very much kill people, right? Like,
yeah,
it's what? It's 7, effectively 9 speed for 11 with the stun. Like,
if you're playing this in Momo, it's even faster. And
yeah, and you just need to understand that resets happen and all that sort of malarkey.
I mean, they do and they don't. How many resets actually are there?
I mean, I think there's enough, right? And
there's Eden Box, there's Hihei,
and it's just like 3 foundations is a very real cost that you just need to factor into it. So,
but the same can be said for Cannon Blast, and Cannon Blast was an absolute staple kill card. It's about
but Cannon Blast again isn't seeing too much play at the moment, right? And
I mean, yeah, but that's because Younger to Go was able to just outpace it.
Yeah, like I think this is probably better than Cannon Blast, but do I put it on the same tier as Black Abyss and Lightning Rod? Yeah, I could see that as an argument. I could see it in bottom S.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say I wasn't comparing to like these guys, which are cracks,
Yeah.
definitely S's. Net Launcher is definitely a contender for low S because it is an absolute beast.
Yeah, I could buy it. Yeah, you can play in futures now.
Yeah, Future now goes absolutely nuts with it. Yeah, there's lots of ways to cheese that free face-up foundations quite easily. Especially, and I mean, you can even just run this in overhaul, or like you can cannon blast and just drop it as a late attack.
Yeah.
Right, but I think that's a comprehensive list of URs.
Yeah.
It is 11:20, so we're gonna head to bed. I've been editing most of the day to try and get everything done because it's half term, so I don't get to do much during the actual day.
That's fair.
Right,
well, everyone in chat, thank you very much for watching and following along and chatting along with us. As usual, those watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Click all the buttons, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Really helps the channel.